Hello everybody, this is Etho and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play series. Woohoo! We're starting off today in a trial chamber. That's right, because I am so excited about these wind charges. I think these things are one of the greatest additions to the game. They're so much fun, so cool, so much potential with these things. And I want to use them freely, you know. I want to do stupid stuff like this and just waste them without having to worry about it, you know. I don't want to use up a stack of these things and be like, oh, well, I'm going to have to spend 5 minutes farming those up. So that's why we're here. We want to make a wind charge farm. Aha. How are we doing it? I'm not exactly sure. I got a rough idea, but we got to do a little bit of research, a little bit of figuring things out here. Now, I'm pretty sure you can't actually blow these up with TNT, as far as I read anyways. Let's just double check that. Make sure we're good there. Yeah, they're perfectly fine. Don't think you can break them with the pick either. The main reason for the obsidian, though, is just so they don't spawn mobs while we're working here and setting up our farm. Because that'll get very annoying if they keep spawning all the time. I do want to check out. We're going to drink an ominous potion here just to see if these trigger now that they're surrounded. They seem okay. Yeah, and I also want to check out, like, what is the distance they get triggered from. I read 14 blocks, so I just want to confirm that. I'm going to make a little sight tunnel here, maybe. And, ooh, how do we do this? I'm going to break this. Just get one block that can see us, right? And then we'll extend this out and see how close we have to be for it to trigger. Okay. We're going to go down. Oh, it triggered from here even. Okay, so it's quite a range. Is it the spawner that releases the potion and not the mob? I always assumed it was the mobs doing it. But there's no mob because I don't think it has a valid spawning spot, maybe? If we remove some blocks, will it start spawning them? Yeah. I'm getting cooked here. So it spawned the carrots, I think, in the obsidian, and then it just kind of got shot out, right? So we're getting closer to it. We should be within range here. And we look, you see it's not activated, right? So it won't trigger from our feet, only our head, I think. Still no trigger. Okay, get closer. Okay, this is it. So I think it has to see us as well, right? Oh. Okay, it's blocked. Can't see us. Can't see us. And then... Oh, did it... I think it spawned it. It did. Okay, so it doesn't need to see us to spawn it. Oh, it spawned 2 that time. Okay, so the spawner was here, and we got it to trigger from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 blocks. Okay, is it going to trigger when it sees us here? Yeah, okay, so I don't think invisibility helps us out at all. Nope. Doing another test here. So we know that trial spawners will reset their 30-minute cooldown if you drink an ominous potion, right? Does it work in reverse, though? I don't know. So I activated this when it was blue, when we had ominous potion. So you see it's got the blue flames. I'm wondering if it's going to reactivate because my ominous potion ran out while I was in here. If it's gonna, like, reactivate without having to wait for 30 minutes. Once I kill this last guy. Okay. Okay, so it gave us the key. Now let's go up there and see if that reactivates the spawner. You can't reset the cooldown going ominous to regular. Well, very good. We're figuring some things out here. My next test is gonna have to wait the 30 minutes now. So let me kind of just give you the rough idea I want to do with this. So as we've seen, it will not spawn more than 1 breeze at a time, and once you kill 1 breeze, it'll spawn another until it runs out of mobs to spawn, right? So ideally, we want to eliminate the breezes as quick as possible to maximize the speed of the farming. And I think the best way of doing that is not to, like, try to kill them as quick as possible. I think we want to eject them out of here, send them to the nether. And then that might also be a way for us to combine all the mobs we find in the trial chamber into like one portal in the nether, because it divides by 8, right? So we can take a larger distance in the trial chamber here and convert it down to maybe a single portal. And then maybe all our mobs will be waiting for us once we get out of here. That's kind of the rough idea. I don't know if it's true or not. We're going to have to test it out. The other question is, can it actually see us through the portal blocks? Yeah, so while we wait to do that test again, I'm going to goof around a little bit here to explore the rest of the trial chamber, try to find all the breeze spawners here so we can connect them together. And I just also want to goof around with like mining copper and stuff. I need copper. I have like no copper in this world. I've always been too lazy to go mine it. And now we can get it nice and easy here. So the thing is, you can't instant mine copper with the pick, right? So I think this is going to be another one of those sand situations where I keep telling everybody to use TNT and nobody's going to use TNT. But I want to try it just to make sure here. So let's see how big of an area that clears. Oh, it's not that big actually, because it's a hard block, so I guess it can't do too much. Well, it does blow out a 3x3 area. Let's try something here actually. So if we put one here, it'll take out the 3x3, right? But we don't want to put one right next to it because then it's gonna probably blow up the stuff. So I'm gonna try space it. 1, 2, 3, 1 here, and then the next one will go 3 block space over here. So this is about the distance where we would want, and then you do 2 passes. Let's see if they'll knight each other. I should get out of here, actually. Don't stand here. Okay, so it's not close enough to light the next one, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. Let's see if it's close enough to blow the stuff up. Oh, it did push it. It did push it there. Okay. Yeah, I guess you just kind of imagine it's going to be a 3x3 area, right? So just place it where there's a 3x3, and you don't really have to think about it too much. It'll do a good job. And then try to pick up the stuff near it so it doesn't blow it up. Let's see if it blows up the copper there, if it's up a block. No, okay. Oh, good news. We found another breeze spawner in the trial chamber here, so we don't have to wait now. We can do our test. And I noticed, like, when I blocked the spawners, it slowed down the rate that they spawned. Like, the less spaces they have available, the slower they're going to spawn. So I think we're going to want to try have 2 portals, actually, so they can spawn either on this side or this side. We are still going to try blocking these 2 spots. I don't know if they can spawn 2 blocks away or if it's only 1. So we'll figure that out as well, I'm sure. In an unfortunate way. But yeah, we want to light this portal, all right? And then we're going to block this. And what I realized as well, so when it's done spawning the mobs, it's going to eject the rewards from the trial spawner right into this block. And it's going to squeeze them out through the portal, and it'll auto-collect the items as well. So that's awesome. If we can make this work. I'm going to put these glass blocks here as kind of a barrier, so there's no way for them to get out. Because I think they're 2 blocks tall, right? And we light this one. I think we're good to go. I think mobs can activate portals on their own. I don't have to go through myself, right? And then I'm just going to drink an ominous, and it should activate if it can see us here. Yeah. See where they spawn. If they spawn. They might not spawn. Oh, I don't think they're going to spawn. Okay, we might have to push them then. Figure out a way to piston push them through a portal. Let's see what happens if we break a block here. Oh! Where'd you come from? What? Where did he spawn? Did he spawn above? What happened there? Oh, they are spawning on the sides. Okay, so 2 blocks is possible. Now we know. What do we do about that? I guess we'll fill it with glass for now. Okay, we're gonna go check if the rewards went through here. I think they did. And they should be... Yeah, there they are. Whoa! Oh, so some did go through. Maybe I don't need to push them through then. Man, I'm going to have to wait 30 minutes to do my tests now to figure it out. This is brutal. The waiting is killing me. I think we're ready to try it again now. I hooked some observers up to the trial spawner just to see if it triggers so that we can detect like when it's active and when it's not. We have a 5x5 cage around the whole thing. And the only place they should be able to spawn is in the portals. Oh, it triggered. Okay, so this is just a regular trigger, not like an ominous, by the way. This did turn off. Okay, that's cool. and then it should turn on when it's done spawning, I think. Maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. Oh! Did you spawn down there? I'm gonna have to watch that back. I don't know where he came from. There's a leak somewhere. Somewhere I haven't seen him yet. Oh, and it turned on. Okay, cool. Oh, and then off again. So it triggered 3 times? So I only saw the one breeze. That means one of them probably actually did go through the portal. Let's check that out. And one of them spawned outside of our trap somehow. But there should be one here. Yeah, okay, there he is. I just checked out what the Minecraft wiki had to say about it, and it says it'll spawn mobs with a radius of 4 around the spawner in a spherical way, not in a square. And also it needs line of sight. So I think if we block out more of these air gaps, we're gonna have less trouble. And also I removed some blocks around here. I blocked this up on this side. So the only line of sight it's gonna have is through this hole. And I removed the blocks here, this gap. So from the spawner, 1, 2, 3, 4, can't reach up to here, according to the wiki. So I think we're good now. Test it out. See what happens here. Keep an eye out for any guys that spawn. Oh, I saw one. Saw 2. Saw 3. Oh, that's fast. It's done. Oh, snap. That's exactly the kind of thing we were hoping for. So that was really quick. And there should be 4 breezes waiting for us over here, if all went well. And then we just clear them out when we leave. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Or is it only 3? No, it's 4. It's 4. Woohoo! It works. It works, everybody. That's so simple to do, too. Awesome. So that worked very well. I did notice, though, it did actually fail spawning them like a couple times. Like, it tries to spawn them every 2 seconds. It spawned a guy to begin with, and then there was like 2 fails, and then it spawned 3 in a row there. So if we want to avoid fails altogether, we need to give it more spawning spaces and like maybe add more portals, which we'll worry about that later. For now, I want to move on to the next step, and this is the big step here, everybody. Okay, this is the one that determines what kind of work I'm going to be doing here, because this is the bulk of the project, is just connecting breeze spawners together with some kind of network. Like, how are we going to get from breeze spawner 1 to breeze spawner 2 to breeze spawner 3 in our network? Are we just going to walk between them? It's pretty lame. It's slow, it's manual. It's not what we're looking for with this farm. We want these wind charges quickly, right? So I think it really comes down to 3 main options to choose from here. We could go for minecarts, boat roads, or ender porters. They each have benefits and disadvantages, right? All 3 of them are going to require some kind of track setup, like a bunch of work, you know? If we go with rails, we got to put down, or with minecarts, we got to put down rails in some kind of network. If we go for boats, we got to put down ice roads. And if we go for ender porters, we have to set up redstone lines everywhere, right? Minecarts are interesting because they're slow. They're only 8 blocks per second movements, but they can be set up fully automatically. So we hop in the minecart. I could leave my computer, come back in a few minutes, and I would have an inventory full of wind charges, maybe. I don't know. Like, that's an option. I think boats are going to be faster, and all we'd have to do to make it work is hold forward on our keyboard. And then ender porters, they're instant travel, right? But you got to manually reload the pearl. They also tend to have a lot of complications and be a little bit more subject to issues with updates than the other 2 options. And I know ender pearls are changing in the future here again. So I'm kind of leaning toward boat roads, honestly. Like, if there's a better way to farm something that's not automatic, I usually prefer it. I like to experience the farm. I know most people would choose this one, though. Okay, so now the big question is, how do we go about actually setting up the boat roads for our breeze farm? Which is the question I'm trying to figure out myself as well. It's a little bit to it. I don't think it's going to be too bad. The portals are going to be bad. Trying to figure those out. But the boat road, I think, is actually quite simple. Basically, the steps are, we got to go to a trial spawner. We got to find all of the breeze farms in that trial spawner. So we found one over here, and there's only one more in this one. I scouted the whole thing out. Unfortunately, there's only 2. More the better, right? But the other one's actually just right next to it here. It's not very far. I've also scouted ahead. Our next trial chamber is to the east, this way. So that means we want our road going down this direction, going this way, right? We don't actually plan on stopping at these spawners. We want to drive by. We want to go by here. So our road, the goal is to make it as short as possible, essentially, so it's as fast as possible. We did our test already. Oh, and I wrote down the coordinates of the 2 spawners as well, just to simplify things a bit. So we kind of want to go somewhere between them here. We're going to arrive at this one first, because again, we're coming from this direction going this way. And that one's a little bit further on, right? So this is our first one. And we did that test. We figured out that we can activate it from 13 blocks away. We don't actually want to go the full 13, though, I don't think, because we're going to be traveling by it very quickly. There's a chance we might be able to skip by it. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to go like 10 blocks away from this one, I think. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So around here, I think is where we want to put our boat road. It doesn't need to be super precise, I don't think. I hope not. So maybe somewhere around here. And I'm going to have to change the direction of this because we had our hole on this side. We want it on this side, actually. So it's got to be rotated. But I'm just going to do 2 wide boat roads, I think, with a border on it. Maybe tough blocks because we're going to get a lot of these mining this out. And essentially, I'm going to make this go up to the next one. Just keep it going straight here. I would like to be able to use this farm just by holding forward, though. So the problem is this road is more than 10 blocks away from the next spawner. No, I made a mistake already. I realized, like, I thought we could just drop down a few blocks in places to get to the right Y heights if we needed to. But I realized we need to plan our road so that we can make a return trip as well. Because we're going to activate the breeze spawners regularly, get to the end of all our trial chambers, and then we're going to come back down the same road after drinking an ominous potion, and then we trigger the spawners again. And if we have different heights in our road, it's going to be hard to, like, get up and down them. Well, getting down is easy. Getting up is the hard part, right? You ever try to get out of the chair without making noises? It's tough, yeah. So I had it at this height before. We're gonna bring the whole thing down to this height because this is the lowest point. And it'll just simplify things. I should probably also point this out. If you're looking at me for inspiration for your own trial chamber farms, do not use blue ice. I am only using blue ice because I'm quirky, okay? Packed ice does pretty much exactly the same thing. And if you make a mistake with packed ice, you can instant mine it, and it's not a big deal. Blue ice, you can't instant mine, and it takes 9 times longer to farm. The only reason I'm using it comes down to the whole, like, finishing the corners on your nether portal thing. If you know you can make something marginally better just by putting in extra work, I feel like you should. Or I should. You shouldn't. I don't know. It's, yeah. It's gonna be a mistake. But I can always change my mind later if it becomes too much of a hassle. It's not a big deal. This is how we're gonna do the corners on our road, so I can just hold forward. We want to do slime block launchers for the boat. And then we need to make sure we have, like, something non-sticky, like terracotta blocks next to that. And then just 2 pieces of redstone dust below here, going to the piston. And a pressure plate for the boat to activate. And then we should get launched right there. Let's give it a test right here. So I'm just going to hold forward on the road. And it should manage it for us. There we go. Perfect. Oh, that felt good. So as we're going this direction, this is what we're doing, right? We should get within line of sight of the other spawner and activate it as we go by. All right, well, I just rotated our breeze spawner here, so now the sight hole over there is facing our road, and it should hopefully see us when we go by. And I actually want to try it out now and see if it'll trigger. So I'm going to drink an ominous and see if it'll trigger when we go here at speed. Yeah, I heard it. Good. And this one? I think that one went too. Yeah, perfect. Yes, it works. It's going, everybody. Oh, how did you get out? they're still surprising me. Because that one spawned in the air, right? Yeah, we have to work on this design a little bit more, I think. Okay, cool. There's another thing we need to figure out too, though. Let's go to the Nether. What is the despawn range on these guys? We gotta kind of get that precise. Oh, they're coming through here. Oh no. There's probably a lot of them stored in there because I haven't been in a while. Oh. Yeah, we got a couple guys here. This is all just temporary as well. Oh, I gotta protect myself. I don't really want to kill them though, because I want them for our test here. Okay. I'm gonna try leave the area, like fly away over 128 blocks away, and just see if they're gonna be here when we get back. Or if they despawn, because I don't know. So we're gonna go away, and should be far enough that if they are gonna despawn, they would be gone. So we're gonna go back now. They're still here, or at least, yeah, I think they're all still here. So they don't despawn. That's good. That is really good. So that means we don't necessarily need to farm them, like harvest them, after each time we go to a trial chamber either. We might be able to store a bunch of them. You remember when I said our road needs to work going both directions? And then I just made it work going one direction? we gotta figure out something else for this. This might get a bit more complicated then. Gotta admit, I don't know why it's doing this. It's fine. Okay, that was good. This time I got stuck. I don't know why. Like, what am I hitting? I'm not hitting anything. I think we're good now. I simplified it a little bit and haven't had an issue. Yeah, I think this setup is good. The new way of doing the corners here is actually very simple. So it's just a 2-tick repeater attached to the pressure plate, goes up to the piston, it pushes, and that's it. And then we have some terracotta there so it doesn't stick to it. All right, I'm going to try my best here to explain the portal situation here. This is probably the most complicated part of the whole project. So what we have to do at all these trial chambers, we find our 2 breeze spawners or however many breeze spawners there are in the trial chamber, and then we got to find the midpoint between all the breeze spawners. So in our case, there's only 2. That kind of simplifies things a little bit. It's a much easier math. Basically, we take the big number, so 14,935 minus 14,911. We divide the result by 2, and then we add that to the little number here, and that gives us 14923. That's our midpoint for the x coordinate. We do the same for the z, and then we have to divide these 2 numbers by 8 to get where our trap needs to go in the nether. Yeah, so that's this portal we keep coming out of in the nether. We need to make some kind of fancy killing chamber here for our breezes, and we need to make sure this is in the right position. Yeah, so we're moving it from here to here. This portal is meant for the breezes only. It's not supposed to be for us. So this gets a little bit confusing because we need the breezes to have their own set of portals, and then we need to have our own as well. We want our portals to be at each end of the ice road to get in here. And we need to make sure the breezes don't accidentally go to our portals, or we don't accidentally go to the breezes portals. And that's tricky because the breeze portals are going to be in the middle. And we want to be as close as possible so that our road can be as short as possible as well. So how are we figuring this? Well, we need to take our numbers here, our x coordinates. So we subtract them from each other. We get 24. We divide that by 2 for the midpoint is 12. So that means, I think, that to make sure the breeze doesn't accidentally go to our portal in the nether, if we put one at the end of the road here, we need to go at least 12 blocks this way, since they're connecting to a portal 12 blocks this way. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm just assuming I'm right here. I don't know if I'm actually doing this correct until we actually try it. But yeah, we'll see. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm going to think somewhere around here might actually work. Let's test it out. That's going to take us to their trap portal. So what we also have to do is make our own portal. I guess we need enough space for the trap as well. I went through all explaining that, and now I realize like this is actually a special case trial chamber because the breeze spawners are so close together. We need this minimum distance of 3 blocks at least. Like we need them to fall down a hole and then like some way to contain them, right? So we need at least 3 blocks spacing for our trap to actually function. But we only need 12 blocks, right? So divide that by 8 is 1.5 blocks. So we actually need to go beyond just so we reach this minimum threshold. So at 3 blocks, that's 24 in the overworld. Does that make sense? I'm all over the place with this. I'm sorry. So essentially what's going to happen is we're going to enter here. That'll take us to one end of the road in the trial chamber. We want to avoid going to the middle portal. That's for the breezes. This one here. This is our trap. And then we're going to come out of the trial chamber at this one. And we're just going to skip past their middle portal. And keep going to the next trial chamber. Is the idea. I think that's the clearest I can explain it. So let's see if we can make that work. So I'm inside their trap. That's not what we want to happen. Because I haven't set up the portals properly yet. In the overworld here. Let's do that. Which one are we at? Yeah, so we came out to this one. So we need to actually make sure this is 24 blocks away. At least. Yeah, I'm going to try 28 blocks here. Because it's not like perfectly straight either. So it gets a little more confusing. We actually have to work with diagonals. But it's just easier just to add a little bit extra and not think about it. And just try it and hope it works. Okay, good. We came out of this portal instead of the middle one. That's great. Hopefully we go to the end of the road again. No, we got in the trap. It's not far enough. I'm officially confused. I think we went to this one actually because it's like 2 blocks higher. And why coordinates matter a lot with portals. Boy. You know, this is one of those things that's a lot easier probably just to do trial and error than actually try to work it out mathematically. So I'm maybe gonna just move this 2 blocks further away and see if that does anything. Yeah, all that time working on the mail network, everybody, and portals are still a mystery to me. All that training for nothing. No, I did learn a lot from that. They're just really finicky. Try it again. Okay, end of the boat road, that's great. So I guess, yeah, we just have to go a little further. So this should take us into the trap here. Not the end of our boat road. Perfect, okay, good. And then if we enter from here, we want to go to the trap one as well, in the nether. And we are, good. Okay, so that's it. We just had to space it a bit more, I guess. I just had a breeze spawn in the middle of the air on the back side here. So I'm pretty convinced now they do not need line of sight to spawn. I think they just pick a spot around here anywhere. So to try stop them from spotting, I'm going to add another layer of blocks around it. Okay, so if anything was confusing before, this should kind of clear it all up, I think. We're going to do our first like real test here, full blown through the whole trial chamber. And this is how we got it set up. So this is going to be our entry point into the trial chamber here. This is the breeze trap where they're going to end up. This needs work. I need to figure out like how to keep them from getting stuck on the obsidian. We could put like campfires and hoppers below and it'll auto kill them. Or, you know, I'm kind of leaning more towards like manually killing them so we get the looting effect. Still thinking about this one. But this is where the breeze end up. And then this is our exit point from the trial chamber, and then we're going to continue on to the next trial chamber, is the idea. And we're taking advantage, big time, of the newest feature in the games, I think since this last update here, where you can ride through portals on boats and minecarts and all that stuff without having to get off of the boat. And it's really fast. It's really cool. So all we have to do here is hold forward. I'm going to drink an ominous potion. If this goes well, we should end up with 8 breezes in the trap once we go through. So all I got to do is hold forward. And it should do the thing if it all works properly. And then we exit. We're on to the next trial chamber. And because they're going through the portal, it should almost act like a chunk loader, I think. I'm curious about that, if they're going to get stuck. Or stop spawning. Looks like we only got one guy. So maybe it's not loading the chunks. There is a chance we're going to have to wait in the trial chamber a little bit for them to fully spawn. I was kind of hoping we could just keep going, you know, but maybe not. All right, everybody. Well, I tell you what, episode length-wise, I think we're probably halfway through that project. So I think this is a good place to split it up, and we'll finish it next time, hopefully. So if you do have ideas for it, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try to factor those in as well. But yeah, let's get to the comment of the day for today, which says, "It's been 4 weeks, Etho. Where are you at?" Oh, I hate to tell you, it's been longer than 4 weeks since you left that comment. Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. I've just been so crazy busy this spring and summer here, dealing with a lot of stuff, like literal stuff, my dad's stuff. So as you might guess, I'm dealing with a kind of an abnormal situation. Like the average person, how many printers do they have? Maybe 1 or 2. My dad had 52. Okay, the average person probably doesn't have a load of, like a pellet full of fire hoses to deal with. I had to sell those. You know, the average person probably doesn't have like antique potato diggers in their backyard. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff to deal with. Trying to deal with getting rid of a lot of things this year, and I've been meeting up with people since the spring, like 1 to 3 people every single day for the last like 5 months. This is the first week in that time where nobody's come. So I am actually starting to get back to recording, which is great. Of course, there's other stuff going on in life. I, of course, had a homeless camp show up last week near my dad's property, and I had to deal with that. They broke in. Or tried to. They couldn't get through the barricades that set up. So that was kind of lucky. But then I had to reinforce things. I had to make a police report. I had to call around, make sure the camp got dealt with. I checked it out. It's gone, thankfully. But they left all their trash, so I got to clean that up. There's always something going on, everybody. But now that it's getting a little cooler around here, people don't want to like buy stuff as much. So it's been a little bit more peaceful and relaxing, and I'm getting back to recording, hopefully. So that's what's been going on. Hopefully we'll get more episodes. Until the next one, everybody, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.